Salama, Salama family, grace and peace. Great peace to you all. Please put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Please put a one in the chat if you can hear Rainy over here, which is a good thing because I've been kind of tired today. And you know, rainy weather is perfect when you're tired. But please put a one in the chat just so I can make sure that all is well, that everybody who is in the building can hear me before I get started saying what I'm going to say tonight. All right, praise the Most High. I see a one in the building. Praise Yah. Okay, I'm glad that y'all can hear me. Family, what's up? Guys, I have not been live and I think probably, has it been? It's been like a month. It's been like a month since I've been live. I've been doing some premieres, but I haven't gone on live. I think the last time I went on live, I had a panel discussion, and that was sweet. That panel discussion, we talked a lot. I think it was talking about everyone taking L's. As a matter of fact, was the last time I went live. But I wanted to come tonight because I want y'all to know a little bit about what's going on. We're going to have some family talk tonight, talk a little bit about family business. But pretty much what's been going on with me is just that. It's family business, not just on your end, but on my end as well. Taking care of my home, getting things in order here. Many of y'all who follow me, y'all already know what the deal is. Y'all know I have a big, beautiful family. I've got a lot of responsibilities at home. And one thing that a very wise man told me one time many years ago is that if you affect no one else but your children, then you will have succeeded. If you affect no one else. So when it comes to my role as a wife and a mom, I gotta practice what I preach. I can't just be talking about, y'all, we got to be there for our family. So I've been spending a lot of wonderful time building with my family. And it's been blessed. It's been so blessed because they grow up so fast. You know, it's like 1 minute they're like little babies. The next minute they're darn near grown people. Like my eldest son, he is almost 15 years old. And it was just like the other day, you know, he was a little baby. And, you know, that's a whole nother thing right there because he's a teenager and dealing with the complexities of a teenager when I haven't had that experience before. My husband and I are like, okay. Just having internet issues. So again, if y'all don't hear me in the chat, please let me know. I'm glad though, you know, that I think that we're doing a decent job in spite of all the challenges, but I'm really glad to be able to have this time because the world is so crazy, you know, to be able to take every day, one day at a time. If y'all saw my last premiere on the vapor, I'm gonna tell y'all, and then I'm gonna do some greetings in the chat before we get into this conversation. But the reason why I did that premiere, the vapor, is because I've had some moments in the last couple of months where I've had some health challenges and I wasn't sure what the future was going to hold for me because not one day is promised to any of us. So I remember sitting down and I was praying and I was crying out to Yah and I said, Father, you know, whatever comes, whatever may come, I want to do your will. I want to be faithful to do your will. But then I thought about my life and the scripture that says your life is but a vapor. And so I said to the Most High, I said, I want to thank you for the vapor. I just want to thank you for the vapor. And that became my thing every day. Thank you for the vapor. So when I was getting ready to do the message, that was going to be the intention behind the message, was being thankful for the life that we have every single day. But Yah redirected it. And I think that what came out of it was necessary, was not just being thankful for the vapor, but being fruitful in the vapor, being fruitful with how we're living our lives. Because oftentimes, the enemy is able to distract us. Let's just keep it 100. All of us. I'm no different. I get distracted too. Okay, so he's able to distract us, and then we can't see the bigger picture. We can't see our part in the great tapestry, because as that homeless man was saying, that was full of wisdom, it's about the journey. We're missing the journey. The journey is it. We're looking for the end of it, but we're not appreciating the journey along the way. And so when I talk about the vapor, and when I talk about being there for my family, about Dr. Tony Evans, because I have been compared several times to his daughter, Priscilla Shirer. My children think I look like her, and my friends who were watching the video the other day, by the way, that young lady, that family, Gisela Bush, the one that was featured in that video with the children graduating from universities at a young age, but her kids, she texted me back, she said, the kids thought that was Priscilla Shirer. But we started joking around a little bit, and we were comparing the difference between Dr. Tony Evans and how he raised his daughter versus how T.D. Jakes raised his daughter. And you see a whole difference. You see the fruit of the Spirit in Priscilla Shirer's life versus, I don't even know what T.D. Jakes' daughter's name is. I don't know what her name is. Y'all know, y'all put it in the chat. But you just see a whole different, focus and goal. Not to say that this woman, I don't know much about T.D. Jakes' daughter. Okay? She just, from what I've seen, seems to be very materialistic versus a Priscilla Shirer who seems to be very kingdom-minded. So I'm just saying, we have to think about the vapor. We have to think about what we're passing on to the next generation. And so it can't be about, for me, it can't be about, okay, well, what am I doing for everyone else while neglecting, at home with my wonderful husband and our beautiful blessed children. So that's been a part of it. And the second part of it, I'm going to get into in a minute, but I want to give some shout outs to some folks that are in the building. I praise the Most High for y'all. There's a lot of people that are in the building. I'm thankful for each and every one of you. I might not get to all of your names, but I want to do a quick shout out as much as I can to get to as many names. Always want to give a shout out to my sis, Ruhama. Okay, that's fam right there. She is my moderator, but she's also fam. So thank you so much for being here, sis. Shetla, that's also fam. Praise the Most High for you being here. Mr. The Original School, peace and blessings, brother. Glad to see you again. Candace, my love, always good to see you. Tiki Ya, family up in the building. What's going on, sis? Angie, love ya. Always a pleasure to see you. Darnell, brother, it's so good to see you as well. Crimson Brina, always good to see you as well. Robert Haynes, so glad to have you in the building. Kimbler, good to see you. Elephant Man Podcast Network in the building. Brother Damon, that's fam as well. Y'all, that's fam right there. That man's got some great things happening in his life. Y'all check out his channel, support what he's doing, okay? Because he's going places in the Most High. He's got a sincere heart, and he's got a teaching spirit. So praise y'all for him. Second Birth Hebrew, so glad to have you up in the building. Angie, love y'all. So glad to see you. Vanessa, good to see you as well. Yvette, grace and peace, salama to you. Lynn, so good to see you. Nicole, Lashana, Dale, Shauna, so good to see all of you. Kenneth Wilkerson, praise the Most High for you. All right, let's see. Let me go down. You, Taylor, so glad to have you in the building once again. Let's see. I'm going to do a couple more. I got to see Yekwamya. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't want to butcher your name. I apologize if I did. Praise y'all for you. Kimbler, so good to see you. Am I fading in and out still? I'm breaking up. Am I breaking up? Some people are saying I'm breaking up. I hope I'm not breaking up anymore. Sean, grace and peace. Glad to see you in the building. All right. Stephanie McMillan, so glad to see you as well. So family, the second part of why I haven't been on live is also because of family business. I've been working diligently on the 714 Movement website. Okay. That is supposed to be coming out on 7/14, July 14th, 2021. Exactly 1 year since the 714 movement started, the website will be launching. And I'm so excited about this initiative. Okay. I'm so excited about it because in just 1 year space of time, the Most High has put me in the company of powerful, wonderful ministers who have caught the vision of what is important amongst Yasharal. And it's that we get the inner man right before the Most High Yah. That we go before him with right hearts and clean hands in a right spirit. And so what we're going to do is something a little bit different. I praise Yah for all of the Hebrew social networks that he's connected us with. Hebrew Spirit, Brother Dante Fortson, and Hebrew Connect TV, Brother Dwayne, and also giving a shout out to Bantu with Brother Issachar, Dwayne, the other Dwayne, and what else? I think I might be missing one, but they're doing an incredible work. But what I'm going to be doing with the 714 movement is very focused on dealing with our inner man issues, the addictions, the domestic issues that we're facing, problems with trauma, all of those things that we need victory over in the Most High. So once that is all said and done, Yah willing, we'll be good to go on the 14th of July. July also happens to be a very special month because I am turning 40. Yes, hallelujah. I've been waiting to turn 40 for 5 years. Hallelujah, hallelujah. I have been waiting to turn 40 for 5 years. And my best friend, and I'm going to have her on here eventually. She's so busy, y'all, because seriously, she is like a mover and shaker. She's an architect, lawyer, mom of 9, and she don't play. But she used to tell me all the time, she said, my next 40 won't be like my last. So she made me look at turning 40 as such an amazing goal to reach so that the second chapter of my life will be something that is great and powerful for the kingdom. So I've been looking forward for these last 5 years to reach 40. So now that it's coming up in July, I'm going to be taking some time off and just reflecting, taking a little sabbatical and just really reflecting on all the goodness of Yah in my life, my family's life, in the midst of the trials, in the midst of the struggles of what's going on in this crazy world. Let's say here, we put this on here, 40s are the old age of youth and the youth of old age. I like that. That's cute. And the youth of old age. I like that. Oh my goodness. Don't rush to get old. No, I'm not. I am not rushing to get old. I really am not. I just feel like at 40 years old, that's such an age of a turnaround in your life. I mean, think about it. Moses was 40 years old when he went into the wilderness. And it was then that he experienced some of the greatest moments of internal change that he needed in order to lead Yah's people at 80 out of their Egyptian captivity. So 40, I think, is a good age. Yes, thank you so much. Thumbs up, family. Please, definitely thumbs up this video. Let's see here. Israelite wife says, July 14th is the day before my middle daughter turns 16. Oh, beautiful. Congratulations. Oh, you got a teenager too. I know that's right. You Taylor says 40 is a spectacular age. I agree. I agree. Yaquam Yah says his birthday's in July. July was a good month. July was a good month. Judea, you don't hear any sound? You gotta, I don't know. Let me see. Somebody put in the chat for her to refresh her page for me, please. And she can probably hear some sound. But in any case, and your birthday's in July too, you Taylor? That's so awesome. Praise Yah for all the July birthdays. Praise Yah for y'all. And the 80s babies. Anyway, y'all, I am glad to be here tonight, though. I am. And we're going to have some discussion about some things that have been going down, of course, in the culture that are affecting us, they've been kind of like irritating me a little bit in a way. I'm going to tell you that I had a little situation that happened, a couple of situations that happened. And I'm going to be really kind of dealing with those tonight. So I was talking to y'all about my eldest son. Now, y'all know that I homeschool my children, but our eldest, we stopped homeschooling him last year so that we could put him in a special academy so that he can graduate early. And this is an online school. It's a black-owned school, and I love what the principal is doing. I love what she's doing. She's got these kids on a 3-year program to graduate from high school versus 4 years. When we were back in Florida, we were going to be trying to get him in college courses early anyway. So this kind of fits within what our goals were. But nevertheless, I was outside of the house and I'm hearing his teacher talk about some documentary that he wanted them to watch. And I listened in a little closer, and he starts talking about how he wanted them to watch a documentary on the Holocaust. And I go, hold on a second. Hold on. Now, y'all know me, right? Okay, I'm like, hold up. Hold on a minute. Okay, so I shouted up to my son. I was a little get. I was like, y'all gonna be doing any history on our people? Are we talking about the Holocaust? Okay, what about Black history? What's up with that? And so he's all, of course, all embarrassed. He's like, Mom, right? And I'm like, So I went upstairs. He was on the balcony doing the schoolwork, and he had the Zoom on mute. So I'm listening in, and pretty much they were just going over the course, and he showed me the course of what they're going on. I'm looking, I see nothing about history pertaining to our people. Okay. Now, y'all know I'm in the Caribbean. When I was in school in the Caribbean, we had Caribbean history as well as Virgin Island history. Okay. But they're not talking about that this semester. I don't know if they're going to cover it or not. But I said, listen, you need to ask them if they're going to talk anything about our history as Black people, not just in America, but also on the continent before slavery. Okay. Talk about the historical roots of what happened to our people, the migratory patterns. Talk about all of those things. And he unmuted himself and he asked the teacher, will we be addressing anything pertaining to us, pertaining to Africa and the continent or other continents, or just dealing specifically with this? And the teacher says, well, there's not a whole lot of information that we can ascertain to be able to have a robust discussion about our own history, unfortunately. But we do plan on covering some of that. But my recommendation is that if you want to know anything about our history, then you go ahead and you do some individual research. I'm sitting there rolling my eyes. Now, I'm trying not to embarrass my child, right? So I'm not going to jump into the class. I'm not going to beget, okay? But that upset me a little bit. So the principal just happened to be on the class, and she starts to tell the students that there's a growing and active movement to stop discussing slavery altogether in the United States. And they're working against that. They're trying to, work towards being able to teach our history. So I went ahead and let him finish his class. And I told my husband, I was so heated about the whole situation. I said, see, this is the reason why our children are the way they are. Because they're learning about the oppressors' pseudo-Europeanized his story, making themselves seem like, of course, the Holocaust, make themselves victims over something that happened for 3 years, and ignoring the atrocities of what happened to our people for 250 years, plus 150 more years after that of Jim Crow, Black codes, slave codes, etc., etc. Not to mention what happened to us before. There's a wealth of history. So I said, I'm not going to just sit down lightly and take this. I'm going to call the principal up. And so I called her up, and we sat down. We had a lovely conversation. Y'all, we talked for an hour and a half. Now, let me tell y'all something. This was on the heels of me watching Reclaiming the Throne. Now, do me a favor. Put a 1 in the chat if you all have seen Reclaiming the Throne by Rebirth of a Nation, Benaya Israel, Pastor Kelly, etc., etc. Put a 1 in the chat if you've seen that. Reclaiming the Throne. If you have not seen Reclaiming the Throne, do yourself a favor my friend, do yourself a favor. Don't pay your Netflix bill. Take that $7 or $12, however much it cost, and get that documentary. Okay? Get that. And if you really want to be a blessing to these brothers and sisters, shout out to Only Love. Okay? Pay that $75 and keep that. I'll be doing that. It's that valuable. Okay? Let me tell you, it is that valuable. I'm off the heels of watching Reclaiming the Throne, listening to this black teacher tell my son that there's not a whole lot of information about our history. So y'all know I was heated. So I'm talking to the principal and I let her know. I said, let me tell you something. I said, if y'all are lacking in information, I will more than gladly share some reference points with you all. And then I butchered Marcus Garvey's quote, but I said, a people without the history, without the knowledge of the history and culture is like a tree without roots. And y'all know we in the islands, we love Marcus Garvey. Okay, so she's like, that's right. And so I said, listen, there are so many references to what actually happened to us, the migratory patterns. Y'all, by the time we was done, I told her we the people. Okay? I was like, let me tell you something. We are the people. We are the Israelites. What you mean you talking about the Holocaust and the Ashkenazis? We are the people. I felt like I was having a Shonda at large talking to his teacher, his principal. But she told me that she knew we were the people. Okay? And yes, Ruamah. By the time I got off with her, I sent her a text. And Black history in the Bible was in that reference point. I sent that to her. I sent her references. I sent her from Babylon to Timbuktu. I sent her the Negro land map. I sent her the Jews and Moors in Spain. I didn't want to overload her, but I sent her those basic things I could think off of the top of my head. Okay? And she told me, she said, I'm going to go watch that. But she said she knew that we were the people. And she started the school because God told her to start the school. But she is like so many other educators, that their hands are being tied. Because in order for them to receive accreditation, they got to teach that over teaching their own children. But she understood the vision. She understood what was happening to our people, even here in the Virgin Islands. And we're going to get on the VI tonight. Okay, we're going to get on the VI tonight. Because y'all, it's serious out here. I've been here for a year and I've been watching things. I've been seeing things. I've been communicating with the locals. I've been communicating with the people who have migrated here as well. I'll say it that way. And let me tell y'all, it's some stuff going down. It's stuff going down that many times we are blinded to because we're so busy with our lives. We don't see the undercurrents of what's happening right under our noses. And so we talked about what was going on right under our noses. That big C word, colonization. Happening right here in the VI. Y'all heard me? Y'all hear what I'm saying? Right here in the VI. And it's so sad, but it ties right back into our history and the lack of understanding our history. And so I was so upset because I said, no, my son is not the only child who needs to know about his history. All of our children need to understand the good, the bad, and the ugly. Way before we even got dispersed to the four corners. So I hope she did watch Reclaiming the Throne because that was priceless. And as Yah is using that documentary, along with others like Whited Out, the Hidden Hebrew series, etc., using documentaries like that to wake people up, our people up, let me tell you, it's a firestorm. It's a firestorm. That's right. They know but want to, they don't want to, they know but won't discuss. Fear the Most High is uncovering. Yes. Yeah, they're afraid to teach our history in the islands because it traces to the Spanish Inquisition. You're right. That's exactly right. They're afraid to teach back what, dig up them bones. Go ahead and get them skeletons out the closet. Because what's happening is that another generation is being fed the same garbage we were fed, and it continues to perpetuate the same system that's kept all of us mentally suppressed. If y'all didn't see Teo Ministries with the mental abolitionist, their name is Shantae. I enjoyed that because that's what it is. We need abolitionists of the mind. The chains are there and they need to be broken off of the mind. So we're going to talk a little bit about this push right here to try to stop teaching our history. Okay? So this is the article from CBS. I'm pulling this up right now. Make sure y'all can see this. Okay, good. Thank you so much, Second Birth Hebrew, for the super chat. I appreciate you, brother. So here we go. CBS says nearly a dozen states want to ban critical race in school. Okay? I'm not going to read this whole article, but we're part of it. It says earlier this month, I read that the Republican governor designed to restrict educators teaching a concept called critical race theory, and more could follow. Nearly a dozen states have introduced similar Republican-backed bills that would direct what students can and cannot be taught about the role of slavery in American history and the ongoing effects of racism in the U.S. today. But critics say the legislation isn't aimed at what children are learning in the classroom. Idaho's law prohibits educators from teaching individuals by virtue of sex, race, ethnicity, religion, color, or national origin are inherently responsible for actions committed in the past by other members of the same sex, race, ethnicity, religion, color, or national origin. Huh? So you don't want to teach that your demographic, your ethnic group had a responsibility in the past of destroying my ethnic group because that might hurt their feelings? Excuse me? They might be responsible? What do you mean they might be responsible? They're reaping the benefits. My people are reaping the destruction. Your people reap the benefits, and now we can't have the conversation? Okay. A proposal in Rhode Island would prevent schools from teaching that Rhode Island or the United States is fundamentally racist or sexist. Excuse me? What planet are we living on? This is why they want to come against the 1619 Project, y'all, because the 1619 Project says let's put America's history, America's start back in 1619 and not 1776 with the Revolutionary War. Because 1619, even though there were British colonies, was it the 12 or 13 colonies? It didn't matter if they were colonies or not. The fact of the matter is that there were black bodies that were brought here for free labor, stolen to bring about American wealth, it's not like in 1776, George Washington said, hey, enough is enough. No, we're going to be the America that we're supposed to be, and we're going to free the slaves, okay? Because we're going to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. No, they enjoyed that. They enjoyed that. That was their existence. Racism was their existence, and sexism. Nevertheless, however, proponents of critical race theory say it does not teach that any race is inherently racist or is superior, but how race is ingrained in our society. Because it is. Critical race theory is not typically taught in elementary and secondary schools because it is based on legal theory, Jasmine Owens, a public policy think tank New America, told CBS News. She said the wave of legislation is really aimed at erasing and whitewashing American history. And really, that's all it is. Let's all pretend like America's history is just peachy keen. Like, you know, like they try to paint that imagery in the 1960s with shows like Leave It to Beaver and Father Knows Best. You know, like, oh, America is just such a godly nation with no past history, no sins, and they're just perfect. They want to erase and whitewash their own history because they don't want to deal with it. Owens pointed to a Texas bill that just passed in the state's House of opponents say bans any discussion of privilege and white supremacy. In the long term, bills of this nature and those that intend to censor the way that race and systemic racism is discussed in the classroom are way more harmful to students, she said. Protecting education means being honest about the parts of our history that hurt, particularly chattel slavery, and being proactive in ensuring that we end current reproduction of racism and inequity in classrooms and beyond. Now, there was a part right here that I liked, and I'm going to read that to you because it talked about the future. Okay? This is what they're afraid of. They're afraid of the changes of what's going to happen. I might not even get to that part. I'm going to get over here because this one is what I really want to hone in on. He called the project revisionist history, seeking to determine our national origins to be based on a negative act, slavery. Was it not the national origin? Was slavery not the national origin? Not in their minds. Therefore, everything that follows, including the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, capitalism, our healthcare system, road systems, even the foods that we eat are fatally flawed and inherently racist. Sounds like somebody's telling on themselves. Is it? Is it not fatally flawed? All of these systems? Of course they are. That's the problem. They're fatally flawed. They are inherently racist. They don't want to deal with that. But we're going to take a look at some of the works of art that have come out of this system. Because, reading is fundamental. So let's take a look at this. This is 10 classic children's books that are actually racist. And I'm not going to read all of them. But we're going to take a look. And I'm going to see if I can zoom this in so you guys can read what I'm reading. But let's start with this one right here. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Quite possibly author Roald Dahl's most popular children's book, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, is a charming, colorful journey into the mind and titular workplace of Willy Wonka, delighting generations of kids the world over during nighttime read-alongs. Unfortunately, Dahl's original text was a little more colorful than most parents will be comfortable with reading to their sprogs these days. You can probably guess where this is going. Oompa Loompas. But why? Aren't the strange little men who run Wonka's factory in hair and thus surely exempt from accusations of racism? Well, yes. If you're going by their, some would argue, definitive depiction in the 1971 film adaptations. Hailing from the very deepest and darkest parts of the African jungle where no white man had been before. Y'all hear that? The Loompas were black pygmies. They switched it up though. Naturally, the idea of a rich white man forcing black slaves to do his bidding was quickly seen as a rather unsavory notion, and later versions, they talk about revisionist history, y'all, of the text from the 1970s onward, changed the color of the character's skin from black to white. Only a little too late for the illustrative editions of the book from 1964. Come on now. Who's revising history here? Who? Okay, we're going to look at this one, and we're going to look at 2 or 3 of them. Thank you so much, Shetla, for the super chat. Let me come over here real quick, and then I'm going to read that. I appreciate you, sis. Thank you so much. And also appreciate, I see one up here. Y'all forgive me. Okay. Praise y'all. Praise y'all. Oh, you gave me 2. Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate you. Okay. Back here. Let's take a look. The Secret Garden. So, The Secret Garden says, Frances Hodges Burnett, early 20th century novel about a young English girl who was forced to move back home after her parents die in India and discovers that, I'm going to mess up this word, eponymous greenery has been adapted into stage plays and films numerous times. It's not hard to see why. The story connects with young children who feel alienated from the adult world and wish to create their own to hide from them, and features many sweet-natured moral lessons about caring for and about others. Well, most of them are sweet. After the protagonist Mary arrives at her new home in Yorkshire, a servant named Martha remarks that she thought the little girl would be black, as she had come from India. Mary is upset by this comment, replying that blacks are not people. Y'all hear that? Blacks are not people. A pretty reprehensible stance that no one ever corrects. She later has to change out of her black clothes into white ones before she can find the garden, and the book features several more highly unnecessary epithets against Indians and dark-skinned peoples in general. Maybe little Mary never needed to leave that garden after all. Can't make this stuff up, y'all. We talking about revisionist history. They trying to switch stuff up. They don't want you to know just how hidden the hidden hand is. They don't want y'all to know just how serious this stuff is. There's this one on here that got me. This is going to be the last one I'm going to share. I'm not even going to share about Pippi Longstocking. I'm going to share this one because, oh no, I'm going to share this one and then I'm going to share the other one. Dr. Dolittle. Okay. Is everyone's favorite Eddie Murphy family comedy? No, wait, that's not right. It's a children's book from the 1950s about a doctor who discovers he can talk to animals that was later adapted with one of its more socially questionable subplots wisely excised. In the novel, the good doctor meets an African prince who wants to marry a white princess, which is about what you'd expect from a story involving talking animals, right? Unfortunately, this being the middle of the 20th century and interracial unions not being quite as acceptable as they are now, the practicalities of this are shaky to say the least. So what does Dolittle do? What any good physician would. He bleaches the prince's skin white so that he can marry the girl without any of that nasty social stigma, producing a smell like burning paper. So not only are children being taught that you should drastically change yourself in order to become acceptable to others, but that doing so will also make everyone sniff in confusion wherever you go. Family, there's no words for this. But this one right here got me. This one right here got me good. Because I did not grow up reading the Chronicles of Narnia series, but when I was very into my Pentecostal background, when the Chronicles of Narnia movie came out, y'all know I was on it. You know, I was like, oh, all right, we got this. We can do this. You know, C.S. Lewis. Okay, I'm telling you, I was on it. But check this out. What could be racist about a lion standing in for Jesus, you cry? Well, nothing in particular. But it's rather telling that the C.S. Lewis stories that are most well known and have been adapted into other media are the ones that are populated more or less entirely with white people. Or you know, talking animals. In a slightly dodgier area are the books featuring the Colorminese, a dark-skinned race of people with long beards, pointy shoes, and turbans who live in the southern lands of Narnia and worship a demon god named Tash. Oh, and most of them are cruel, terrible people. In The Horse and His Boy, for example, the lead Shasta runs away from home when his adoptive Colormine father decides that he wants to sell him into slavery. Most Colormines are characterized as being selfish and mean-spirited, which is probably why they're okay with performing human sacrifices in the name of Tash. The only members of the race who actually beggar any kind of sympathy, now y'all get this right here, are those who renounce their race, culture, and faith and accept the teachings of Aslan, which is kind of heavy even for Lewis. Come on! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are we not having this conversation? Are we not? Family, what is really going on? I am clutching my pearls too, Sister Ruhama. Pippi, Dr. Dolittle. I mean, come on. This is crazy. The Chronicles of Narnia. And I was up in that theater like, yo, get him, Aslan. And they did put in the white witch. Oh my goodness. But the only character, and I didn't even think about that, right? That they didn't have any black characters in the movie. But in the book series, the only black characters are worshiping a demon god named Tash. And when they give up their religion, or was it let me read that again there. What did I say there? They give up their race, culture, and faith and accept the teachings of Aslan. Woo, I can't make this stuff up, y'all. I can't make this stuff up. But they don't want to deal with this. They don't want to deal with this. We dealing with this. Our children are dealing with this. Our youth are dealing with this. These folk talking about Asian hate. Stop Asian hate. Stop Asian hate, huh? Okay. But why is Asian hate on TikTok allowed all over the place? You got Asian hating us and allowing their platform to be used for people to hate us on their platform. Colorism. Can y'all hear me? Give me a one if you can hear me. I apologize. I got cut out of the internet. I told y'all. I told y'all how it's been. I told y'all how it's been all day. Give me a one in the chat if you can hear me. A one in the chat if you can hear me. Thank you. Thank y'all for bearing with me. Because I tell you what, it's been a rough day with this internet and this weather. All right, I was going to share something with y'all about what our youth are dealing with when I got cut out. So here it is.
I really need y'all to listen to this whole thing, especially if you're black. Okay, so the Willie Lynch letter was a short speech written by a slave owner to other slave owners. He said, I quote, I have a foolproof method for controlling black slaves. I guarantee every one of you that if done correctly, it will control them and turn them against each other for the next 300 years at least. In the speech, he instructed a lot of different tactics, but one stood out to me because it's very relevant today. So he instructed that light skins get to work in the house. They got freedoms, skins had to skin and coarse hair in the black community comes from. They literally achieved their goal of brainwashing us. We need to free ourselves from mental slavery ASAP.
I used to hate my skin so much when I was younger that one day, after a long day of being bullied at school, I went straight into the bathtub and I poured a whole gallon of bleach.
I'm sorry this thing is acting up tonight. I'm going to go back to what sis said.
I used to hate my skin so much when I was younger. One day after a long I literally hated my skin so much. I washed myself with bleach, thinking I would somehow wash away my skin color. So now that I'm older and I speak out against it and people just tell me to just ignore colorism, it's kind of a slap in my face.
I don't usually make videos like this, but I did want to address this. I feel like we don't call out enough black women for having subtle colorist mindsets. And by black women specifically, I'm talking about other light skin, biracial, mixed race, whatever. But the other day I was with this girl and she was also light skinned. And she was talking to me and she was like, yeah, I just feel like it's really hard for me to make other black female friends because one, they either don't think I'm black enough or two, they're intimidated by me. And I was like, whoa. Did they say that they're intimidated by you specifically? Or are you assuming that they should be intimidated by you or were intimidated by you because you're lighter? So then she started backtracking. She's like, no, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. But you did mean it like that because that same type of mindset is the same mindset that people have when they walk into a room or a party or whatever, and they think that automatically because they're the lightest that equates to them being the prettiest, they're about to get the most attention, etc., etc. And I feel like we just be disregarding things like that because like, oh, they're black too and it's our friend. But no, hold your friend accountable because those slick ass comments promote colorist ass messages. And for all my women out there who love dating men who only date light skins because that's his preference, no, that's his colorist tendency, sis. I yield my time.
Family, that right there. Do you see that this is affecting us to today? I mean, these are kids my generation with my oldest son. All the things that have happened to us as a community that has caused us to be in a situation where we are hating ourselves, we are pitting ourselves against one another based on skin complex. Whether you're lighter or darker, it really is a such thing as light skin privilege. Okay? That's a reality. I'm not going to fake it. I remember having a conversation with a very, very wise friend of mine. And she is mocha chocolate. And she, you need friends in your life that are going to keep it 100 with you and tell you who you are. If you don't have a friend in your life that's willing to tell you who you are, for real, that's probably not a real friend. But she said to me, you have light skin privilege. And this was back when I was assimilated. And I said, well, what do you mean? She says, my sister is about the same complexion as you. And I've watched it all my life. All my life, I've grown up watching her get treated better because of her light complexion than me. Now, let me tell y'all something about me. I have 9 beautiful children of every shade. Okay? They're very high yellow, almost pasty, all the way to mocha chocolate. I mean, beautiful melanin. Okay? And I see it myself. I see how people will respond to my lighter skinned children. They'll go like, oh, they're so beautiful. And then they'll do like a little, little turn in the eye with the other ones that have more melanin. And then, oh, they're all so beautiful. It's just little subtleties like that. They won't turn to the highly melanated children first and be like, oh, they're so beautiful. And then turn to the lighter ones and be like, oh, they're all so beautiful. They won't do that. And that bothers me. That bothers me because it ain't even always Caucasians. Many a time it's our folk. Many a time it's our folk. They'll be like looking at the lighter ones. Oh, wow. And she's got green eyes. I got a few children with green eyes. They got green eyes. Oh, wow. And I'm stuck with these old brown eyes. But what you don't know about green eyes is that they're recessive. And so what happens is the people in my family that have green or lighter eyes, they have serious eye problems when they get older. Okay? Whereas that melanin rich, they're good to go. They're good to go. But it's not about who's better, my lighter versus my more melanated children. No, this was all Willie Lynch. Because ain't none of us decide what shade of melanin we were going to come out as. Willie Lynch has caused us to be in this situation. And so when I talk about my daughter's hair, for example, some of my children have 3B, and some of and I have most of my daughters, they have either 3B or 3C. But I've got my one daughter who is the most highly melanated, and she is my princess, y'all. She's got 4C hair. And let me tell y'all something. When I talk about her hair, whether she's in the room or not, girl, that child's hair is amazing. It defies gravity. I love it. When I comb it, it stays in place. I don't have to worry about it falling all out. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I speak life into her. Let me tell you, you got to do that. You have to speak life into your children, whether they are falling on the light skin spectrum or the darker skin spectrum. You have to speak life into your children because we are dealing with a world that is pitting our children against one another. Okay? And it is horrible. Jill, let me tell you right, that's what's up. I did her hair in some Afro puffs the other day and some braids going in the back with the little jewels and the beads. Oh, and my baby didn't look like a little Israelite princess. She is a princess, but I mean, she had like the whole jewel thing going. I said, woo, child. Let's take a picture of this. Go show everybody in the house how beautiful your hair is. I remember when I first got here and I had done her hair in cornrows in the front and had an afro in the back. And one of my family members went up to her and told her to get her hair done. I was trying. I had just got here. I was trying not to. But that is the mindset. And somebody who should have known better. Somebody who's pro-black. But because her hair was in an afro in the back, they told her to get her hair done. Okay, see, let me tell y'all. We be destroying ourselves. And a lot of it has to do with exactly what I just read to y'all with these books and the education that's been handed down to us for millennia. That they try not to deal with that reality. But that education has taught us to hate ourselves. That imagery has taught us to hate ourselves. And to wish that we were like. And we might be like, acting like, you got some people act like they're so pro-black, right? But for real, they are a lot of times the ones that will look at the lighter skinned women and they'll be like, oh, she is so gorgeous. But look at a highly melanated sister and be like, she all right? No, boo-boo. No, she's all of that in a bag of chips. So we have to redirect and reprogram the way we think and teach our babies. Because really, see, we have been taught that our children are not important. Do y'all remember when Peter was going to, he was with Yahusha, right? And some little children were coming up to Yahusha. And Peter and them was like, y'all get away, get these kids away. And what Yahusha said? He said, suffer the little children to come unto me, for theirs is the kingdom. See, what we don't understand a lot of times is that while we're busy pouring into what we're doing in our generation, the enemy is busy working on the next one. He's working on the next generation because he understands that all you have to do is change the next generation over and you can change the entire world. So a lot of times we'll be looking at the next generation as bothersome. The society, the culture has trained us in that way. You know, every time my husband and I had children, especially from Christians, they'd be like, well, you got your hands full, don't you? You're taking that verse a little literally and talk about, be fruitful and multiply. Literally there, aren't you? I mean, that's great and all having faith, but the scripture also tells us we should have wisdom there. Yeah, this is the kind of bullcrap I had to hear. And I say bullcrap because it's antithetical to the word of the Most High Yah. He does want you to have a quiver full if you are blessed to have them. He wants you to. Why? Because he understands that when you have a righteous seed in the earth, okay, when you have set your heart and affection on having a righteous seed in the earth, that hell shakes. It must shake because you're raising up warriors. That's what you're doing. You're raising up warriors to come against the kingdom of darkness. And so what does the devil work? Overtime. What he's always done, destroy the Hebrew babies, the male children, destroy them, kill them off. Thank you for the gift, Amstone. I appreciate you. But we've been taught to look at this next generation as though they're not important. And that's why they're all in their cell phones all the time. I got the problem too. My teenager, boy, I tell you, I got to take his cell phone for a week. And I have to teach him. It's not all about that superficiality. It's an ongoing battle. When you're raising children in this generation, it's an ongoing battle. Because the devil wants their souls. He wants to perpetuate the same curse on this next generation that he did on us and the generation before. So we have to fight. And so when I was talking to his principal, I was telling her, we have to set the standard. We can't just say, well, let them just go on and pass the test and so they can make an A, so they can just go on ahead and graduate. No, we have to affect change. We can't be like, oh, I know your game and I'm going to play it. Because even though I don't believe in your game, I know that I can't get ahead unless I play your game. So, but I'm woke. I see you. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. I'm going to do a Vicky Dillard, y'all. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Somebody talk black to me. Yes, Sister Fam. The battle for this generation is real. It is. It really is. It's real. That ain't no joke. It ain't no joke. Why y'all think I'm telling y'all? This is family business. Dream Sky Lover, appreciate you for the super chat. Thank you so much. This is family business, and we got to handle ours. So we're going to talk about a couple more things. So y'all been hearing about the situation with Kwame Brown. I know y'all have been. Okay. And I was unfortunately exposed to this wild ranting by this man who, I ain't even going to get into it, but y'all know him, Stephen A. Smith, today. And it really, really just disappointed me. But I'm going to let y'all see a little bit of this. Because this is Willie Lynch too. And this is the boule shaking in their bootstraps. Here is Stephen A. calling out Kwame Brown's NBA career. You weren't very good. Now, from my understanding, Stephen A. didn't even make the NBA. But this is what he has to say about someone who did.
Under the most normal circumstances, I have considerably better things to do with my time. But Kwame Brown wanted my attention. You got it now? Nothing personal. Never have. And have been attacking him personally either. That includes Arenas, who did not attack him personally. It includes Steven Jackson, who did not attack him personally. It includes Matt Barnes, who he really got personal about, and Matt Barnes never said a word. It doesn't include Charlamagne the God either, nor Dr. Boyce Watkins. He didn't say anything bad about Kwame either. Nor did Michael Wilbon deserve Kwame Brown coming at him. But Kwame Brown been getting personal. Play early basketball. Newsflash! That wasn't a lie. When you put yourself and you put your game out there in the best league in the world, people can comment on it because you're putting your talents on public display. Before I go any further, join me in taking a look at this man.
Now I'm gonna pause it right there. For one, because I don't know if y'all can hear this, okay? Because I'm hearing some twos. Somebody says I can't hear anything. Shout out to Pastor Kelly in the building. Grace and peace to you. So glad that you're here. Pastor Kelly was digging in tonight. I was sad I had to go. I was like, oh man. But he was digging in through. And it's over for one another. It's really, really sad. But that's what we on tonight. Thank you so much, Brew Queen. Israel for the gift. I appreciate you. And it is very, very, very sad that he's made those decisions, but he has. But even making those decisions, let me tell you, they were straight clowning him for the clown that he was behaving as he was trying to break this man's career down of 13 years. This is what you kept seeing. Kwame Brown, so you have chosen death. That's what somebody's saying Kwame is going to say to him. Stephen A. Smith, keeping the black man down. Stephen bullied this man and he's defending himself. It's a problem. The very same Stephen A. Smith made a career out of humiliating is now turning the tables. Well done, Kwame. Continue schooling those media bullies. And I'm going to stop right there because that's really what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the fact that we as a people, we can tear one another down like nobody's business. Selling each other out for 30 pieces of silver. This man, from what I understand, was silent for 20 years. Didn't say anything about all of the hate that he was getting through his career of 13 years plus in the NBA. You don't make it to the NBA if you can't play. So all this, he couldn't play, and he was on all these teams. He could play well enough to be there for 13 years, apparently. But we're tearing each other down for a paycheck? This is a sad reality. This is why it's making it difficult for us to advance. Because you're dealing with people among our own who don't want to see us advance. They want to see us stay down. They don't like seeing us prosper. So I'm going to show y'all this. Because let me tell y'all something. Thank you so much for Super Chat, Tia Love. This, what Stephen A is doing, is a part of the distraction. With a greater purpose. Keep us fighting against one another. But this is what's really going on. If y'all are not familiar with TDE Hip Hop channel, y'all need to check this brother out because he is talking about what's really happening with our people. And it's about the fight on reparations. Okay? So this is where the distraction point comes in. This is how the overseers
Within that story that she was
this is how they deal with us. They use our own to fight against us. Now, I want you to listen to what this man said concerning this lady right here. This is a Jewish woman. And she's talking about, again, dealing with the Holocaust. And she's talking about her grandmother. And she's talking about how her grandmother got reparations. And you all are going to see this fighting with one another to keep each other down. And that's exactly what Stephen A. Smith and all of these dudes like Charlamagne is doing to Kwame Brown, because they don't want our people to be able to rise up from where we are. They want to keep us bullied. They want to continue to keep us down so that they can get the crumbs off the master's table. Take a listen to this.
the way that I want to prove this to you is by playing a snippet of this video in which this woman, a Jewish woman, who was a grandmother, who was a Jewish Holocaust survivor, and talking about her story of triumph and perseverance and how she survived the Holocaust and was able to build up a beautiful life here in America. Within that story that she was telling about her grandmother who survived the Holocaust, she made it a point to go out of her way and pivot the conversation to reparations for the descendants of American slavery. So much so that if it was not for reparations in the form of cash payments towards her grandmother, her family might not have had the ability to build the life that they have. She even went as far as to bring her grandmother's reparations documentation with her to show on national television for the purposes of stating that reparations in the form of cash payments work. And after doing all this, I want you to watch and see how Gayle King completely pivoted in the opposite direction, ignoring everything that this woman just stated in terms of cash payments working as a form of reparations.
No, I just wanted to thank you for sharing it. You know, we all have the responsibility of sharing these stories, and it's just really this is a private family story, and it's a kind of unusual document in my family. You know, there's a debate about reparations in this country now, and a lot of people say that they're practical, they're impossible, but an able, happy life you see her having is possible in part because she actually gets reparations. She gets hundreds of dollars each month from the German government, and I brought you one of the statements so that people could actually see that this is a real thing.
Yeah, but I'm so fascinated why she can be so sunny, considering all that she has seen, to see the death of her brothers, the little nieces and the nephews that clearly didn't make it. I marvel at people like that, and I'm so glad that you brought the story to us. I'm very fascinated by your grandmother now.
What did Snoop Dogg say again?
You guys hear? Can you hear in the chat what's going on? Because it was acting up on my end real quick. Do y'all see? I see 1, 2. Give me ones if you can hear. Give me a 1 if you can hear. I don't see anybody's 1s or 2s at this point. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm going to continue. All right, great.
That this is a real thing.
Yeah, but I'm so fascinated why she can be so sunny, considering all that she has seen, to see the death of her brothers, the little nieces and the nephews that clearly didn't make it. I marvel at people like that, and I'm so glad that you brought the story to us. I'm very fascinated by your grandmother now.
What did Snoop Dogg say again? Somebody please remind me what Snoop Dogg said about Gayle King again, because I forgot. You know, I forgot. So somebody please help me out with that in the comment section. The way that Gayle completely pivoted in the opposite direction
is beyond disgusting. But it goes to show and prove that in this country, Black Americans have absolutely no political representation at all whatsoever. You have your own people who are satisfied with the crumbs that they are receiving from the dominant society, sabotaging the possibility and the hope of being able to receive reparations for the greater body of the descendants of American slavery at large. Now, what's even more interesting about this clip is that Gail's co-host actually pivoted back to the reparations conversation. And in doing so, this made Gail feel comfortable enough to talk about reparations, which goes to show that she is very well trained to dodge and deflect any conversation surrounding reparations, especially when we're talking about in the form of cash payments. But in feeling comfortable enough to have the conversation, she actually slipped up and asked the woman, could you tell us how much money your grandmother is actually getting? The moment the granddaughter started getting into the details of how much money her grandmother was getting every month, they immediately shut the interview down.
Are you allowed to say how much the reparations are?
Yeah, it's in the high three figure. Okay. It's in the high three figures per month. And so when you think about that month after month.
Right. Yeah. No, it adds up. Jody, thank you for giving us.
It's a lot of money.
We've got to go, but such a powerful story. Thanks for being with us, and thanks for sharing it. We'll be right back.
The producers must have been screaming in the ear of that man, telling him, shut this interview down right now. And this is why new Black media is so important. This is why this is so necessary. And this is also why it is extremely necessary that we do everything in our power to vote these anti-Black collaborators out of office.
So y'all see what happened there? They cut her off like they trying to mess up my feed tonight, right? She said it's in the, what she said, the high three figure per month. Shut the front door. And no. We got to go right now. We can't be talking figures now. Especially when they already told us by 2053 that the Black wealth in America will be $0. Y'all heard that right? The net worth of Black families by 2053, 0. With our current trajectory. And this woman, this is, look, let me tell you something. I'm for who's for us. You know what I'm saying? This woman, she said, look, so we having a conversation about reparations. Because you got a bunch of people that'll tell you, reparations, they don't solve what's really going on in the Black community. I mean, y'all can't even get along. Look at Stephen A. Smith. Look at Kwame Brown. I think I heard Pastor Kelly talking about that last night, and I thought that's a great point. Because that's what they do. They try to deflect from the reality that a debt is owed. But they'll say, oh, it can't fix this and it can't fix that. Well, let me tell you, I'm the first one to tell you that I know that when you are so broke, you can't even dream, it hurts. And when you have a little bit of money so you can dream, it helps. Money answers all things, as the scripture says. So this idea that giving us what is owed somehow can't fix a lot of the problems that are in our community, they're kidding themselves. But I'm telling you, what it is we dealing with the same stuff our ancestors dealt with. Y'all know we got to get into the word a little bit tonight. Got to get in the word a little something. Okay? This is a future scripture. Prophecy. Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 38. When the Most High says he's going to pull his people from the nations. But this is what he says. He says, and I will purge out from among you the rebels, and them that transgress against me, I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter the land of Israel, and you shall know that I'm the Lord. I like the way it reads actually in the New International Version. It says, I will purge you of those who revolt and rebel against me. Although I will bring them out of the land where they are living, yet they will not enter the land of Israel. Then you will know that I am the Lord. Y'all, I'm telling you, they gonna come out, but they ain't gonna come out to go and get our promise. No, you got your promise. You got what you wanted. You sold your people down the river. That's exactly what you wanted. We're gonna bring you out, but you're gonna die in this wilderness. Because it's no different than our ancestors. Numbers chapter 16. This was the first rebellion. I'm going to start off at verse 1. It says, Now Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab and On, the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men. Now I'm telling you all these sons, and this is for a reason now, because it's a lot of them. And they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, Ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. Wherefore then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord? And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face. So they basically saying to Moses, like, yo, I mean, we got to walk with y'all too. I mean, who are you? Who you think? You think you better than us? And Moses, in his humility, he fell on his face. He like, can't deal with these Negroes. Verse 5. And he spake unto Korah and unto all his companies, saying, Even tomorrow the Lord will show who are his, and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him. Even him who he hath chosen will he cause to come near unto him. This do. Take your census, Korah, and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before the Lord tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom the Lord doth choose, he shall be holy. Ye take too much upon you, ye son of Levi, ye sons of Levi. And Moses said unto Korah, Hear, I pray you, ye sons of Levi. Now this is the Levites. Seemeth it but a small thing unto you that the God of Israel has separated you from the congregation of Israel to bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of the Lord, and to stand before the congregation and minister unto them? He said, that's small to you? That he separated y'all? Verse 10, And he had brought them near to him, and all thy brethren, the sons of Levi, with thee, and seek ye the priesthood also? You're not content. For which cause both thou and all that company are gathered together against the Lord? And what is Aaron that you murmur against him? And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the son of Eliab, which said, We will not come up. Is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land? Now here go to Stephen A. Smith's. Is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey, to kill us in the wilderness, except thou make thyself altogether a prince over us? Him and Gail standing right there like, you done brought us up out of CBS. You done brought us out of ESPN. I mean, how dare you? We was chilling. Moreover, thou hast not brought us into a land that floweth with milk and honey, or given us inheritance of fields and vineyards. Wilt thou put out the eyes of these men? We will not come up. And Moses was very wroth, and said unto the Lord, Respect not thou offering. I have not taken one ASS, I ain't trying to cuss, from them, neither have I hurt one of them. And Moses said unto Korah, Be thou and all thy company before the Lord, thou and they and Aaron tomorrow. So I'm going to go down. All right, I'm going down. All right, here it is. And Moses said hereby, verse 28, Ye shall know that the Lord has sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of mine own hand. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord hath not sent me. But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth, and swallow them up, with all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord. And it came to pass, as he made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that appertained unto Korah, and all their goods. They and all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them, for they said, Lest the earth swallow us up also. They was like, oh no, we know who is with the Most High, who we know that the Most High is with Moses, and we're going to be with Moses too. Verse 35. And there came out a fire from the Lord and consumed the 250 men that offered incense. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest, and take up the censers out of the burning, and scatter thou the fire yonder, for they are hallowed. Okay? But why did I read that to y'all? Because this is what's going on. These are our ancestors. That's what happened to them. That happened to them, and that is what's going to take place with so many of our people today. They ain't going to come up out, but they ain't going into the land flowing with milk and honey, because this is their land flowing with milk and honey. You know what I'm saying? This is their land flowing with milk and honey. They're content with this, and they know that it's hurting our people, but they don't care because they're okay. They got their little crumbs. They got their little, and that's good enough for them. See, that's the difference between them and Moses. See, Moshe was in Pharaoh's court. He already had all of the wealth of Egypt at his fingertip. And he realized he wasn't no like little overseer like Korah and all of them, got that little $1 million. Man, he was a billionaire. He had it all. Okay? He had everything he ever wanted materially and knew it was worth nothing. He said he refused to be called the son of an Egyptian princess. He didn't want nothing to do with that. So it wasn't like they were telling him something new. Milk and honey. He had all the milk and honey he wanted, and he realized it was nothing but spoiled milk and fake honey. He said no. To follow the ways of the Most High. That's real life. That's what I want. How are they going to tell Moses about milk and honey? This is Moses. They forget who he was. But see, when you don't want Yah's will, you're going to get swallowed up by the earth. Anybody who wants to do what they want to do and they want to enjoy this temporal pleasure and they don't want Yah's will, they're going to get swallowed up by the earth. Because things are shifting. Things are shifting in the earth. But the saddest part about this, y'all, because I told you we're going to get on the VI, and I'm going to close out with this. But y'all do me a favor. I'm going to show y'all a video tonight. And I want this to go viral. Okay? Because when I tell y'all that the systems of this world are in full effect still, and then yes, they're being shut down. They're being exposed. But when I talk about through the diaspora, how it's still affecting us to this day, I'm serious. Now, before I show y'all this video, I'm going to tell y'all what happened. I went to go drop my husband off to work one day. And y'all, I don't ever pick people up. We had this thing we call ride up. You know, it's essentially hitchhiking. Okay? So I saw this lady and she was hitchhiking. And I don't pick people up. I just don't do it. Okay? Because, you know, just for safety purposes. But for some reason, I just felt the need to pick this lady up. So I pick her up and I'm playing like some CC Winans or something. So right away, she asked me what church I go to. And I was like, nah, sis, I don't go to none of these churches. I'm an Israelite. I'm born again, but I'm an Israelite. She's like, huh? So I get to talking with her and letting her know who we are. Talking about, tell her, see, we destroying ourselves. We don't know who we are. We hate one another. Going through this whole thing I'm going through with y'all tonight. This sis said something to me that just blew me away. She said, you know, she said there's this white lady that called one of this black lady, she called her a nigga and a slave on Waterfront. And she got beat up. I said, what? What are you talking about? No, she didn't. She said, yes, she did. Now, see, something happened in town, you gonna know about it in country in an hour, okay? So I said, nah, that's crazy. But I went ahead, I was like, that's crazy. I dropped her off where she was going. And I told my husband about it. Next thing you know, some family came over. I didn't realize this whole thing was videoed. Well, I got the video. And I'm going to share it with y'all now. Take a look at this.
Just chill for 1 second. 3 times, bro. Let me get out this door. Who's touching me? Now let's put her back in. 3 times. That's why your niggas are slaves. Slaves. Whip y'all, you're slaves. Slaves. Oh, that's for Hennessy bottle? Are they thirsty for Hennessy? They thirsty for Hennessy. They want to record me? Record that. They thirsty for Hennessy. That's what Hennessy bottle.
Henny bottle.
We was in line. The behind us and we argued for a Hennessy bottle. That's why y'all thirsty. That's why y'all slaves.
Ooh.
Get in the car.
Damn.
Put out Facebook. Put out Facebook.
Damn. All that slave shit went down the throat. Go. I got you. Damn.
Where you at? Don't come out here.
Damn.
You want to tell me, bitch, I'm from Texas.
Now she's fixing herself up. When y'all hear them pauses because it was so much cussing. I tried to get rid of all of it. I couldn't get rid of all the cussing. I couldn't get rid of all the cussing. Y'all make that go viral. Okay? Because I'm going to tell y'all something. That just happened. That didn't happen 20, 30 years ago. That happened literally a week or two ago. Right here in the U.S. Virgin Islands. I drive down that road every few days. Okay? This is what is still happening. Y'all see, she felt real comfortable to come on my island with mostly black folk on this island and call this sister what she said. Now, see, this is the problem that we have. Because they're telling us that racism is over. They're telling us that we've advanced as a nation. That we've moved forward as a people. Let's not dig up the old stuff. Let's not get into the history. Let's just move past that. We don't want to deal with all of that ancient stuff. Ancient. This literally just happened. So what I'm saying to y'all is that we need to understand that what is happening in the earth is the exposing of the Most High. Because he's doing a work in his children that want to listen, that have ears to hear and eyes to see what the Ruach HaKodesh is saying in these last days. You see, too many of our folk want to ignore this. You talk about Korah being a Levite. That's how many black pastors that we have that won't deal with our curse, that won't deal with these issues. They just want to act like this stuff, we born again now. We don't need to be dealing with that no more. Let's just let that go. We just got to preach the gospel. I mean, I had all kinds of situations last week just dealing with that. And I ain't even got to get into it tonight, but I'm telling y'all, the mental chains that are still on our people's minds. They don't want to deal with this reality. How y'all think I felt being right here? Hearing that this woman is using that kind of language and she didn't get beat down worse than that. Now, I'm not calling or advocating for violence. I'm just saying. She felt real comfortable. Real comfortable. And I be trying to tell my folk here in the VI, like, y'all being colonized. And I don't have anything against Caucasians that want to do a work to help my community, period. Okay? Any more than I had a problem with Caucasian abolitionists that helped free my ancestors. If you down for the cause, we cool. But we're still dealing with a lot of them. They have the attitude of that woman right there. Secretly. Oh, but she was on that truth serum. Y'all know she was drunk. She let that truth come out. And she got that beat down. And I'm just telling y'all that we got to wake up. And we have to understand the day and the hour that we living in. because it's that serious. We got to stand up and we got to fight in the spirit, not with the hands, because we know the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty in Yah to the pulling down of strongholds. White supremacy is a stronghold. Bottom line. And white supremacy is not only by white actors. If anybody tells you that, they don't understand it. The institution in itself upholds that which is antithetical, the Esau spirit, antithetical to the nature of the Most High. We have to understand that white supremacists are black, they're Asians, they're Arabs. Of course, they're white, and they're everything in between. Anybody who wants to keep that system that is antichrist in nature, keep the lies up, keep the fake imagery up. I don't care whether they're religious, political, social, whatever it is in between. Anything that wants to keep that structure up to the destruction of our people is not for us. And we need to decide how we're going to respond to that. Well, I believe we respond to that in several ways. For one, we need to follow the mandate of 2 Chronicles 7:14. That's what the 7:14 movement is about. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, seek my face, turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven, forgive their sins, and heal their land. But far too many of us, and I'm not saying anybody in this chat, but I'm talking about us as a collective. Even those who say they're born again, they know they're Israel. They don't want to turn from their wicked ways. They don't want to get their houses in order. They don't want to do what we're supposed to do. And he said, when you do that, when you start there, then we can talk. But he's doing it because he's calling out those who do have ears to hear and eyes to see. Then we have to unify. We have to unify. We can't do this in isolation. Yes, we know we social distance, right? Okay, we get it. That what we have going on right now is the enemy's plan to keep us separated. But we have to create avenues of unity and working together. We must do that because there's a problem. And Yah has caused us to be the solution to that problem by getting our hearts right, getting our homes right, getting our minds shifted, allowing him to work through us to affect change in the earth, using our vapor correctly. So that's what we got to do. And when we do those things, then we are the army that's rising up. Rising up to do the will of Yah in the earth, to the glory of Yahushua HaMashiach. So, friends, family, that's all I got tonight. That's it. But I'm so thankful that I got an opportunity to share with y'all. I'm going to go on live. I probably won't make it as long this time because some things are wrapping up. But y'all keep us in prayer with the website. And, I'll be putting out more content. If you have not subscribed, I didn't even put my banner up tonight. But if you have not subscribed to my text list, then please do so. Just text Israelife, ISRAELIFE to 833-587-0213 so that you can get my updates, all that good stuff, as well as some things we got going on that just off of this platform because it ain't all about YouTube. This is about a movement. And so at the end of the day, I invite y'all to subscribe so y'all can see what's going on. But in any case, I'm going to check out a couple of y'all comments and I'm getting ready to get up out of here. That's right. That's what's up, sis. You know it. We fight with prayer and a lot of prayer. Yeah, sis. She was confident enough to go up to the car. I think that alcohol just made her feel like she was a Wonder Woman or something. She found out real quick. Racism is still alive and well, Mr. Original School. Absolutely. A man just killed 9 people in California. I got to look that up. I don't know about that. I agree, but gloves are off when you think you're going to put hands on me. That Christianese don't work over here. Look, my son said, "What would you do?" Because the mother was trying to stop the thing, trying to stop the fight. I was like, well, before I knew it was recorded, I was like, I would have recorded that thing, and her whole career would have been ruined. Didn't know it was recorded, so I said, when I found out, I said, I got to share this. I hope it goes viral. I hope it goes viral. I know they don't want these hands. I understand, y'all. I understand, because it's rough out here when you see stuff like that. But that's what's up. We got to break the strongholds, and we have to fast and pray collectively. Absolutely. It has to be a collective thing, not just one or two pockets of people. It has to be a unified front. We have to fast and pray together. Well, I put the link to the list of books that were racist in the comment section or something. Yeah. You know what? Matter of fact, before I go, let me do that. I gotta, here's the website. Y'all can take a look at it. I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. Tell me y'all see this right here. That is the website with all those books on there. So, oh, thank you so much, Angie. I appreciate that. I missed y'all. Y'all know I really did miss y'all. I'm telling you, I enjoy being able to meet with y'all live. I really do. Because it's just a chance to just sit down and to chat with the family, and an opportunity for us to come together. So I missed y'all. Y'all keep us in prayer, and y'all willing, we're gonna be able to do this more often together. Praying hands, please help me, Elohim. Woo, yes. Help us all. All right, family. Well, I think that's going to be it for tonight. Grace and peace to all of you. Linda, I missed you too. Thank you so much. I really did, y'all. You know. Oh, and by the way, thank y'all for praying for my friend. If y'all didn't see the update, my friend who got involved in a car accident, he was a part of 714 Fellowship, Donovan. He's doing much better. Praise y'all for him, because I tell you what, that brother, that's family right there. So I'm so glad that y'all delivered him. No broken bones, no damaged organs, none of that. So y'all kept him. I agree. It's like the only real community we have. Ain't that the truth? Trey Lee says, fasting and prayer. Racists stay away from us. And you were missed, Ashonda. Oh, I miss y'all. Y'all make me feel so loved. Thank you. B1 Queensland. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's a lot of work, y'all. It is. But I love what I do. When you love what you do, it really isn't work. I love what I do. All of it. I love being a wife. I love being a mom. I love being on this platform. All the things y'all's calling me to. I love it. So I'm grateful. I love you too, sis. This right here, this is my homie right here, Jill. She's doing some powerful things. We're going to bring her on one of these lives one of these days coming up. She's doing some powerful work. We're going to be working together real tight, because she's just laboring in the kingdom real good. All right, y'all. Now I'm getting out of here for real now, y'all, for real. I got some Perrier sitting there looking real good right about now, and I'm thirsty. I'm about to go get my drink of Perrier before I go hit that snooze. Blessings to y'all. Y'all know what I say, family, all the time. Love yourselves without hating your enemies, family. And until next time, y'all bless. Salam.